Running advertisements on TikTok has become increasingly popular within small businesses and major brands. With the meteoric rise of TikTok around 2020, it quickly became the fastest growing app in the world. And with the rapid rise of users on TikTok was the rapid rise of opportunity to advertise on it. This presents business owners with a unique opportunity to increase their revenue. Using TikTok to advertise for your business can dramatically increase your growth and add a new revenue stream. This is definitely something you should be trying out whether you're a small business or work in the advertising department of a large company. And some good news here, if you are hesitant to spend money on TikTok, they are running some serious incentives right now and bonus offers, which I'll cover later on. All right, before we get into the full walkthrough and setup of how to start your TikTok campaigns, let's actually cover the pros and cons of advertising on TikTok. So some pros for advertising on TikTok: since it's a newer platform, it's a lot cheaper to run advertisements on there versus Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Snapchat. The reason being is there's so much engagement on TikTok. There's a high watch time of people on the app, allowing the app to actually serve more advertisements to customers versus another social media platform like Facebook or Instagram where they charge a lot more per advertisement. Another pro of advertising and getting your business on TikTok is that there's a large audience size. Obviously, with the fastest growing app in the world at the time, there are a lot of new audiences and new people coming onto TikTok every single day in every market, every demographic, allowing you to reach a massive audience and really getting your brand name out there. Another pro is that they are aggressive in track apping. If you are familiar with TikTok at all, you know how their algorithm works to some extent. It shows you everything that you want to see, which means their algorithm tracks you heavily in your watch time within the app and a bunch of other variables to determine exactly what to show you to keep you on the app longer. And with that extensive tracking that they have, it's really good for advertisers because TikTok sets up profiles for each user, tracking their interests, their likes, what videos they watch. That way, when we advertise and show them ads, it's going to go directly to the people that are most likely going to watch your ad and click on your ad. In summary, they basically have a lot of data on people and they know exactly where to send your ads. Another pro is the low effort in terms of ad creatives. You don't need some massive videography budget or some pros handling all of your videos and editing for you. What's great about TikTok is they created a style of content, which is like UGC content, which is user generated content. And it's basically everything shot on an iPhone. So if you've been on TikTok, you see everything is pretty much done on an iPhone where people are talking to the camera or showing something, which makes it really easy for us advertisers because we want to have our content fit into the platform natively. We don't want it to stand out. We don't want people to identify immediately that we're running an ad to them. So being able to film advertisements on an iPhone and post them as ads, it's going to look native to the platform and it results in you having a low cost to create these ads and a low effort. Another pro is that TikTok recently is becoming a lot more shoppable. With TikTok releasing TikTok Shop and really promoting shopping within the app, customers every single day are getting more and more used to spending money through the app, which is really good for us advertisers because we want to advertise on platforms that people actually convert and they're used to shopping from. People were previously using TikTok solely for entertainment, not really for shopping, but then they introduced TikTok Shop and now everyone's really comfortable shopping on TikTok. And now they have in their minds, I can buy stuff on TikTok, it's going to deliver to my house, it's not a scam, and it's making them more and more comfortable to shop there, which is great for us. Those are some of the pros of advertising on TikTok. Now let's cover some of the cons. The biggest con, in my opinion, on advertising on TikTok, from what I've seen in a lot of other people, is ad fatigue. So ad creatives on TikTok, when you're running them, seem to fatigue a lot quicker than on Facebook or Instagram. And if you don't know what ad fatigue is, it's basically where your ad starts underperforming or starts slowing down in performance based on how long the ad is running, how many times people on average have seen that ad, and then your performance on that specific campaign and ad creative will drop. And why this is bad is because it's a lot more hands-on. You have to post a lot more ad creatives on TikTok because they are fatiguing quicker. So it adds a little bit more work than compared to Facebook or Instagram, where you can run ads for months without seeing any drop in performance. Another con, which technically is improving day over day with TikTok Shop, is that TikTok does have lower intent customers compared to Facebook or Instagram, which means yes, you're going to get cheaper traffic, but not as many conversions from that traffic compared to what you'd get on Facebook or Instagram. TikTok users are still getting used to shopping on TikTok and it's getting better and better over time. But with TikTok having such a strong algorithm in such an engaging platform, people aren't always in the mood to shop. They might just scroll right past your ad and go on to the next brain rot video. This is a con right now, so lower intent to purchase customers, but it is improving day over day with how shoppable the app is becoming, which in my opinion makes it a really good time to start advertising on TikTok. Now, another con is the audience demographics. Most of the users on TikTok are typically younger. Yes, more and more older generations are signing up for TikTok accounts, but at the moment, most of the audience on TikTok is a little bit younger. And so how that can be a bad thing compared to Facebook or Instagram that has pretty much all of the market is that some niches and some products and some businesses will not perform as well on TikTok. For example, if you're running a business that's selling a product aimed towards 65-year-old plus people, your go-to might not be TikTok. Your core audience really isn't there. But if you're selling a product that's anywhere from 18 to 40 years old, TikTok does have a lot of members within that age group, so it could be good for your business. So it is a con. It's typically a younger demographic, so it could limit some businesses' success on TikTok in comparison to Facebook or Instagram. Now that we've covered the pros and cons, let's walk through exactly how to set up your first campaign. We're going to link the pixels onto your store. We're going to do everything. So if you're watching this, following along step by step, by the end of this video, you will have a campaign ready to launch. And you're going to have a well-rounded understanding of how TikTok ads works in the setup. All right, so let's get right into it. TikTok is running a lot of bonuses and incentives to get people advertising on the platform. So this is a limited time offer right now when you sign up for a new TikTok for Business account. And I don't know how long they're going to use this offer for, so I'd take advantage of it now if you can. But for this specific bonus link, I'll have it down below in the description so you can take advantage of it. If you're just wanting to test out TikTok to see if it works, this is a fantastic opportunity because you're going to get so much bonus spend to actually scale and test. So first we have to obviously sign up for our business account. So we're going to click on Get Started. Now we have to create our advertiser account and we're going to have to enter our email that we want to use and the password. Then we're just going to click on that we agree to the commercial services. You don't have to subscribe if you don't want to, and then we're going to hit continue. Then it's going to send you this verification email where we're going to copy and paste the code and then paste it right back in. And now it's going to ask you about your industry. So you can choose whatever you want. If you're in e-commerce, you can select it here. We're just going to do other. Enter your business name. This is basically what it's just going to title your business in your account. So you can kind of say whatever you want. If you have an LLC, you can put that in here. If you're just self-employed or running a Shopify store or something like that, it doesn't really matter. So we're just going to put Austin right here. Then you're going to enter your mobile phone number and your company website. You don't have to do the company website. That's totally up to you. Then you're going to click agree and hit get started. Now we're in the back end of TikTok ads here. So we're going to accept this. There's one thing that I want you to keep in mind. So TikTok might ask you to verify your account. So if they do, this is what you're really going to have to do. So up the top right corner where you see your user profile, you're going to click on user settings. So what I would do is add your phone number in here, the one that you want to use for your business, and then also go down to data security and then enter your phone number and email. I recommend doing this. Otherwise TikTok might ban your account or delete it. So just make sure that you set that up. Go ahead and hit save on that and verify. It might send you a text message to verify that code. And then we're going to come back on here once you're done and click on dashboard. Now I recommend adding your billing info. So I would click on add info, choose the state that you reside in, submit that there, and then set up payment. So TikTok will not actually let you launch any ads until you set up your payment method. So you do have to do that right here. So I'll take you to this link and then click on add payment method, enter your credit or debit card information, PayPal or Venmo, and hit submit. And then on this same page to set up our account, we're going to verify our phone number for security. So at the top right, you're going to click on this and say verify phone number. It'll take you to this page where it says business verification is optional. You can verify your business. They might ask you to verify it later on, which I would recommend doing if you are planning to use TikTok for the long term. And then also at the top here, you're going to notice while your account is under review, you can still add payment information and set up campaigns. So TikTok ads, when you create a new account, they do verify it, but it can take anywhere from an hour to a day or two. So definitely want to keep that in mind as you're filling out your ad campaigns. And even if your account is still under review, we can still set up the campaign right now. So let's get right into that. Let's actually set up our first TikTok ad campaign. What we're going to do at the top here is click on campaign. Now you're going to be taken to this dashboard area, which we don't have any campaigns up and running yet. So we're going to hit create at the left. Now we're going to be going into the campaign setup area so we can create new or use existing. We need to create a new campaign. So you first have to choose your advertising objective. There's reach, traffic, video views, community interaction, app promotion, lead gen, website conversions, and product sales. I would not recommend using awareness or consideration if you're trying to sell a product or service because you're telling TikTok with the objective exactly what you want them to do. So if it's just awareness, it's going to show your ad to a ton of people for very cheap, but no one's going to convert. They're not going to go on your website and purchase from you. Same with traffic. Their whole idea and the objective is to get traffic. That's all they're doing, is getting traffic to your store. That doesn't mean conversions. And most of the time, I'm sure 99% of you watching this video want to get sales on your store. So the only one I would recommend is doing website conversions. So we're going to click on website conversions and then scroll down to campaign name. You can name this whatever you want. Let's just say we're selling a jade roller. So we'll say jade roller campaign, and that's what our advertisement and product is going to be about. Special ad categories. You don't have to declare any of these unless you're advertising for housing, employment, or credit. So if you're not doing any of those, don't worry about that and leave it blank. We don't need to create a split test right now, or campaign budget optimization, because we're just setting this up for a one ad set and one creative to run. But if you do want to know what a CBO or a campaign budget optimization is, there's the campaign level, the ad set level, and the ad creative level. At the campaign level is the one that we're on right now. So you just set up all of the objectives and things like that. At the ad set level is where you do all of the interest targeting by age, demographic, country. And at the ad creative level is where you have your ad copy and your ad creative, the actual media that you're uploading. And so what a CBO does is you can have multiple ad sets underneath a campaign and multiple creatives underneath those ad sets. And if you turn on CBO, you would put in a budget, and let's say it's $100, and it would distribute that $100 down between the ad sets and the creatives how TikTok sees fit. If we don't have campaign budget optimization on, then it's whatever the ad set level budget is that's what's going to spend on that ad set level, and that creative's underneath it. CBOs are great for testing and scaling because it lets TikTok decide where to spend the money on the best ad creatives and the best ad sets. So you can set that up if you'd like. If you just want to keep it simple and you just want to run one advertisement, then we're going to turn this off and go by the ad budget optimization. Here you can also set a campaign budget and say, hey, I don't want to spend more than $50 a day. You can just set up some parameters around that if you're on a strict budget. We're gonna leave that off for now, and then we're gonna hit continue. And so now you can name the ad set here. So if you're doing multiple ad sets with different targeting, and you could say like US 18 plus is the demographic that we're hitting in this ad set. And then if we did another one, we could say Canada 18 plus, just to keep it organized. But right now we're just doing one ad set level to walk you guys through this. So for the optimization location, this is where you need to set up your TikTok pixel. And if you don't know what a pixel is, it's basically just a line of code that you implement onto your website. And so whenever someone comes from the TikTok app from your advertisement and goes onto your website and makes a purchase, clicks on a page, adds to cart, whatever it may be, that data gets sent back to TikTok. That way it can track your ads properly and optimize for you. So pixels are very, very important. You do have to set them up, and I'll show you how to set it up. It's really, really easy. So we're just gonna click on website as the optimization location, and then we're gonna set up our data connection. So we'll click get started. And if you haven't verified your phone number yet, it will ask you to verify it before you set up your pixel. So this is where you type in that phone number, it'll send you a text, and then you click verify. Okay, so user verification is now turned on. We just verified the phone number. So we're gonna go back. Now this is where we're gonna set up our pixel. So what you can do here, if you already have a website or a Shopify website, you can add it and type it in here. I obviously recommend having a website before you start running ads, otherwise you're sending them nowhere. So you'd add in your website here is option 1, but if you hit skip, you can choose a partnership integration. So most of the time people are gonna be on Shopify. So we're gonna click on partner integrations. Then we're gonna hit next, and then we're gonna choose Shopify, or if you're on any of these other ones, you would choose those, but we're gonna click on Shopify for the example. All you have to do is super, super easy, is click on get started on Shopify. It's gonna open up the TikTok app page for you in the Shopify app store. You're gonna hit login to install, start onboarding. You're gonna connect to your account that we just created right now in the TikTok ads account. So you're gonna use that same email, and you're just gonna log back in and click connect. And then you choose the data sharing level, and I would recommend choosing maximum. And then after that, you are done. Your pixel is linked, and we can go back to building the rest of our campaign. All right, so now we have our pixel linked, so we're gonna be tracking this properly. The next option to choose from is placements. So there's automatic placement and select placement. Select placement is where you can choose whether or not you want it to have in the global app bundle and Pangle. So I don't really know what either of these things are, to be honest with you. So I would uncheck both of these because we just want to advertise on TikTok. We also want to leave the checkbox here for include in search results, because if people are searching for the product you're selling, it'll show up there, and that's perfect. Now scrolling down to the targeting section. Here you can have saved audiences. We don't have any data yet from our pixel, but what you can do is say people that have visited my store in the past 180 days, let's advertise to them with a retargeting campaign. But as a brand new account, we don't have that data yet, so we're gonna leave that blank. And then you scroll down even further, we've got demographic. This is obviously where you can choose which location you want your TikTok ads to be seen. We're gonna leave United States for the sake of this video. And then scrolling down is the age. So you can say 13 to 17, 18 to 24, and you can uncheck the ones that you don't want in the age group, or you can check them all off. It depends on your product, right? So if your product is marketed towards 18 to 24-year-olds, maybe just leave that one checked. If you want to advertise to everyone and you have a broad product, then leave them all unchecked. The only difference is it obviously doesn't show it to these people. And then you'll notice on the right side that your available audience to advertise to drops the less people that you add in there. Scrolling down, the next option is gender. This is product dependent as well. If you want to advertise to male, female, or both. Languages, you can click on all, or you can add English if that's what you want to mainly target. Spending power is an option to choose for people that have spent historically on TikTok and have high spending power based on the data that they've collected selected. I like to leave it on all, to be honest with you, especially on a new campaign. High spending power can be iffy sometimes and a little bit more costly and might not result in what you'd think it would result in. This might work differently for certain people or certain businesses, so it's something to play around with in the future. But for the sake of this walkthrough, I'm just going to leave all on. Household income is kind of the same thing. You could say top percent of household income by zip code. You can dabble around with this if you want, for whatever reason, if you're selling a really expensive product or something, but most of the time I just leave that blank. Now for audiences, you can do ones that you've also saved and created lookalike audiences from your pixel, where you could say, hey, the last 1,000 people that visited my store and made a purchase, create a lookalike audience of people that look like this or share characteristics of this person or interests. You can create that group of people and then use it as a lookalike audience to advertise to. But since we're on a brand new pixel and we're just setting this up, we don't have that data. Here you can exclude audiences, same way, custom lookalike if you want to for whatever reason. And then you scroll down to interests and behaviors. I really don't recommend doing any interests or behaviors, and same with the method on Facebook and Instagram. TikTok and Facebook's algorithms are very strong. They know what people are interested in. I don't think you have to point them in that direction. It just limits the reach. So most of people in the e-com space right now are going completely broad interest and letting the algorithm actually figure out where to show your ads. With that being said, we're going to leave that blank. Now device is the next option, where you can choose Android or iOS. Maybe if you're advertising an iPhone app, this would make sense. But if you're just selling products online, you don't really have to worry about that. Now scrolling down to the budget and schedule, since we're doing an ad set budget, which is at this level that you can see on the left here above the campaign. So this is how much this ad set specifically is going to spend. And so this ad set can have multiple ad creatives underneath it. It could have one ad creative, which we're going to get to in just a second. So this is where you're going to choose your budget for that daily. I recommend spending $25 a day in a budget at a minimum. I think it's like the lowest healthy amount that you can collect data fairly quickly with. This is totally up to you of how much you want to spend. The moral of the story here is if you spend $5, it's going to take you a lot longer to collect more data because there's less spend, less advertisements, less data. Or if you spend $500, you're going to get a lot more data a lot quicker to make decisions. This is totally up to whatever you want. And obviously with the TikTok bonus, if you signed up through the link, this starts counting towards that bonus as well. Schedule is the time that you want to start the ad group to run. Most people just do immediately or start it the next day at midnight. You can also set a start and end date. If you want to run the campaign for Black Friday and you're just going to run it for the weekend, you can set that here. And then scrolling down below that would be day parting. This is where you can select specific times of the day and week that you want your advertisements to run. I don't recommend doing this in the beginning, but if you get data in the future indicating that most people purchase between 8 a.m. and 12 p.m., then maybe you could play around with day parting a little bit here and there and see if it works and really optimizes it for you. But for now, we're just going to click on all day. Bidding and optimization. This is what you want the pixel to focus on and track in the goal of the pixel. So we're going to leave this as conversions. We want people to come onto our website and purchase from us. And we want TikTok to be able to track that efficiently. That way it can optimize your ads for you and give you your pixel data. The target CPA, or the target cost per acquisition, is optional. You could say on average, I want it to cost $10 for someone to convert on my website. I don't like doing this. It really limits the amount of spend that TikTok actually uses. Sometimes it won't even run if you have a low target CPA. And we also don't know how much it's going to cost on average if this is a new campaign. So I recommend leaving it blank. I leave it blank for all of my campaigns across all platforms. Now you can go down to the attribution settings, and this is the window. So we want to do a 7-day click window. And then for the event count, I like to do every. So you're tracking 7-day click windows and then every event that it's counting. So that's what we want to set up there. Now we're done with the ad set level. Let's move on to the ad creative. Now we're on the ad creative level. This is where we do the copywriting of the advertisement, the actual ad itself, and adding it onto your account. That's where all of this takes place. Scrolling down here to identity, you can use a TikTok account to deliver Spark ads. I don't think we should be doing this right now. It's where you use someone else's TikTok account or your own, and you link it to this and it runs from that account. We actually just want to set a custom identity unless your business already has a TikTok account. And if you do already have a TikTok account for your business, you should link that first, which you can do right up here by checking this off and then clicking on add. If not, we're going to set a custom identity for our account. So what our display name is going to show up as. And if we're selling jade rollers for this example, let's just say jaderoller.com is the website that we want to advertise for. So now you can see here in the preview, it's going to show up like this. This is exactly what an ad is going to look like to a customer. So you just want to keep that in mind as you're editing all of this. So now scrolling down to add details, here you can add carousel images, which is swipeable images up to 35, or you can do a single video, which is most popular on TikTok. And now we're going to need to upload that ad creative that we have that we want to start running and showing in front of people. So I'm uploading now an ad creative video example. You can obviously pull this from your desktop or on your computer computer and just upload the ad that you want to run. All right, so now you'd see your ad right here on the right side and make sure it plays through correctly and it looks good and all the formatting is fine and nothing is being covered up by text or anything like that. Now here we're scrolling down to the text, which is the copy portion of your advertisement, which you'll see at the bottom right here at the example. You can say whatever you want here for your ad copy. If I was doing a jade roller as an example, I'll just say get your jade roller for 10 bucks or whatever. That's a bad copy, but you get the point. So you plug in up to 100 words here and it's basically the description of your ad. Now the call to action is the button that shows up at the bottom. So right now you see apply now. And so you obviously want to choose one that is applicable to the thing that you're selling, right? So if you're selling an e-commerce product and you want people to shop on your website, you would want to scroll down and click on shop now. It makes the most sense. If you're doing something with lead gen or selling a service, you could click on a call to action like book now, or you can check off multiple if they all make sense. So for this example, we're just going to use shop now. Here you can add interactive add-ons, which is like display cards, countdown stickers of a sale on your advertisement here, or like coupon codes and stuff like that. These can be useful sometimes, but we're just doing this on a basic level here to set up our ads. So I don't want to get too fancy with it, but if you like this, or if you have like a Black Friday sale, you can create that with the sticker right here. Now scrolling down is the URL destination. So this is where your customers are going to go once they click on your ad. You obviously want to direct them onto your landing page for the product that you're selling. So if we're selling our jade roller, we'd plug in our website, jaderoller.com, product jade roller, and it would direct them exactly to that URL's landing page. From there, they'd hopefully purchase from your website. Now scrolling down below this, you can have a disclaimer on here if you want to protect someone from something. And then also you can check off if it has AI generated content in it, which you can do if you do have AI generated content. And then below that, checking this box, you authorize this ad to be associated with performance metrics on the campaign and to also be displayed on TikTok branded or affiliate platforms. I don't like to check this. I don't want TikTok talking about my ad and how well it's doing. I'd rather just keep that private. Scrolling down below that is the TikTok events tracking, which we set up with our pixel essentially. So you'd click on the pixel that you just created right here and on conversions. Now our ad is fully set up. That was the last thing that we needed to change. And then you would just hit publish all when you are ready to launch your ad. And once your ad starts running and collecting data and sending it out to people, you'll be able to go back onto your TikTok ads manager. You'll click on campaign, and then you can start seeing the results roll in for that advertisement. So on here, you'd see that campaign, which we have in a draft right now, the Jade Roller campaign. But let's say this is spending money. It would tell you how much you've spent, your cost per click, your cost per impression, what the click-through rate is, your conversions from that campaign, your conversion rate, everything that you need to know to make an educated decision on if your ad is performing well or not. So that's all you have to do to set up your TikTok business account and post your first ad. I hope that this walkthrough gave you guys a good, clear understanding of how to get this set up and how to finally publish your first ad. And if you guys want to learn more about scaling strategies and breaking down metrics and things like that within your TikTok ad account, make sure to check out the other videos on my YouTube channel where I go way more in depth on that. And also before we go, make sure to get your free custom Shopify store, free mentorship, 3 live coaching calls a week if you want to learn about e-commerce. Again, it's completely free thanks to Shopify. So if you want to take advantage of this and come learn from me and my coaches, you can sign up for that in the link down below in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video is helpful. Make sure to leave a comment if you have any other questions about setting up your TikTok ad account. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.